Cancer sun, I feel what you don't say. Scorpio moon, I see through the gray. I'm tuned to your soul, I read the unseen. 8th house mind, 12th house dreams. Tarot in my hands, planets in my sight. I decode the dark, turn shadow to light.
Hello, welcome. It is me. It is me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. You guys, I press start live, and that's when I get busy. That's when I start fixing stuff and running around as if I couldn't do all that before. Welcome, everyone. We are going to talk about the weekly transits. I am Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Welcome from YouTube. Welcome from Spotify. Welcome from wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Welcome from Twitch and X, Facebook. Hello to everyone. We are going to talk about the weekly transits. Let me pull them up. I normally have an intro. Well, let me just say a lot of stuff happening with Gemini energy and Uranus. That's going to be expected, unexpected. Some unexpected news happening this week. And we have a lot of planets changing signs. We have Mercury entering Gemini. A lot of conversations, a lot of headlines, and journalism, podcasts. Get ready for that. Books. Mars is entering Taurus. Now we are going to go from aggressive and fast to slow and steady. And then Venus enters Cancer. All that happens this week. Venus entering Cancer makes the relationships a little bit more sentimental, a little bit more sensitive, and dwelling in the past. And we have a Cazimi. It's so much going on. And we have a new moon. So this week is really huge, okay? New moon in Taurus. I'm going to talk about all of it. Let me pull up the timeline. Is this the right one? Here we are. Okay, so May 12th. And today I am filming this live May 11th. But May 12th, we have Mercury is going to sextile Jupiter. On the 14th, we have the Cazimi. That is when the Sun and Mercury are sitting exactly together. Mercury is in the heart of the Sun. We have a new moon in Taurus. That happens on the 16th. On the 17th, we have Mercury entering Gemini. And immediately when it enters Gemini, it's going to conjunct Uranus. On the 18th, we have Mars entering Taurus, and we have Venus entering Cancer. We have some sextile energy. I'll talk about that briefly, but that is what we have. Let me pull up the chart for us, and let's really get started. If you guys are new here, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. If you really enjoy astrology and tarot, I have some tarot cards here, then please put a little special emoji down. Your favorite emoji, it doesn't matter. Happy belated Mother's Day to everyone, all my mothers. I enjoyed my Mother's Day. My mom is still alive. I'm grateful for that. So I got to spend the morning with her. We went to a restaurant and a bookstore. And then later on, I spent it with my household and my children. And that was great. And we saw Devil Wears Prada. I'm not really into watching movies at a movie theater, so that'll probably be the last time I do that. But it was something to do, something different, and I went with my kids. But we also did something. Oh! This was more exciting. The girls, we all got our a piercing. My youngest was like, "Let's do this piercing." I was like, "That's a little selfish. That's just me paying for you guys to get your ears pierced." Well, I got mine. I got 2 piercings, so I have 5 in a row on my ear. And I think it looks so pretty. And when they all heal, I'm going to go bigger, to smaller size in diamonds. Yes, in diamonds. I don't do lab diamonds, but, it is what it is. I like the natural things. I like natural things and everything. I don't have to do diamonds, but a natural stone and something. Anyway, so that's what I did. But now let's talk about astrology, okay? So May 12th is what we'll start because that is the first thing that I see. In May 12th, we see that Mercury, which is in the sign Taurus, is sextile Jupiter. This is great. This is energy, and you're feeling this a little bit already, but a lot of abundance, a lot of great conversations. Taurus represents stability and finances. This is where good conversations could turn into real possibilities and opportunities. Now, this is if you decide to do it because God put this energy out there. Are you going to work on it? This is where conversation actually could lead to something good. Mercury in Taurus is practical thinking. It's all about money, stability, yeah, tangible items. Jupiter in Cancer is about emotional growth. It's about sensitivity, your home, your safety, expansion with support. The sextile is the easy flow between logic and emotions. So again, helpful conversations. You can have practical decisions and emotional and financial alignment. So everyone, this is a great time to be productive in your discussions and to think financially and to feel more confident in your decisions. And economics and all that globally could be more discussed and thought about, and you can break that down even more, okay, with this transits. Now, on the 14th is when you have the Cazimi. This is where it's going to be at 24 degrees. 24 degrees is a Pisces degree that represents things that are ending. It can also represent the unknown in space and things that are conspiracy theories. Pisces also is very intuitive energy, so you could be very intuitive. Now, this is an element added on to the already known element, which is Taurus. Mercury in Taurus is grounded thinking, it's finances, it's long term decisions. The sun in Taurus is clarity, visibility, and core values. Both of them being in Taurus. With the heart of the sun means that there could be an announcement literally this day. The mind is eliminated. You could have a aha. There could be clarity. This could be clear thinking, decisions around money and stability, understanding your true values. Taurus also represents self worth. Clarity around finances, work, or priorities. Finally, understanding the situation that you've been thinking about, saying something important with confidence. Also, this is hardcore evidence. Hardcore evidence. You could be receiving that already because during Taurus season and while Mercury's in Taurus, yes, the sun shines a light on things, and usually it shines a light on tangible things when it's in a sign Taurus. Important financial and economic announcements, clear messaging from leaders, decisions being finalized or confirmed, information that cuts through confusion. Making grounded long term decisions, aligning your thoughts with your values, speaking with clarity and purpose, choosing what is stable and sustainable. Taurus is also representing traditions. So there can be an announcement or discussion or aha or clarity around something that's more traditional. Taurus is about what we value. So there could be something about what you value. You could value yourself. Okay. So there is that. This is clarity moment that helps you move forward with confidence. The sun adds to confidence. The sun highlights a lot of themes with Mercury in Taurus too. So again, it could be highlighting a lot of themes. Themes meaning like things in the news regarding our economy, or banks, what we value, finances, even farm and landscape, the actual earth energy, okay? So let's see what news we have on May 15th. I mean, May 14th. May 15th is my daughter's birthday. So that's interesting. So on the 16th of May is when we have the Taurus New Moon. The Taurus New Moon will actually be at 25 degrees. This is a little bit past it. And with this Taurus New Moon, there is where you think it, say it, and start to build it. It becomes real because, again, Taurus is very tangible energy. Anytime you have a new moon, it is a start of a cycle and it's a lot of manifestations. And this would really be great manifesting if you have this in your 11th house. So I always have to like move these over. So this is really great for all of my Cancer risings. If you are a Cancer rising, maybe even in Cancer, I'm a Cancer, go ahead and try to manifest everything you can because this is in the house of your hopes and dreams. So that works out really well for you. Now, this new moon is going to happen exactly at 1 p.m. So I would manifest before that or the day before. Any type of rituals you do for the new moon, like cleansing, this is an earth energy. So I would go for a walk. I would go be with nature. But while you're with nature and you're connecting your ground, you're touching the earth, then do your manifestations. Anything you want to write down, writing it down would be great because it's sitting next to Mercury. Anyway, this new moon in Taurus is all about money, stability, long term security. What are you actually building? This is about making a financial plan, loving yourself, being sensual. Everything you touch, smell, see, that's very Taurus energy. Maybe having a character check, meaning that are you too stubborn? Are you too lazy? Because both of those is very Taurus energy. Maybe that needs to be changed. A great time to persevere. Even though you would say stubborn is on one side of the coin, on the other side is actually staying and persevering. It's something that needs to be patient energy and dependable at the same time. So maybe you need to work on that. This new moon could be this new moon. Anytime you have a moon in May, it is a flower moon. It is a moon of the return of the frogs. And it's also called a couple's moon. So usually with this new moon, you could be very open and very with new encounters, or you could be very open about an encounter or a relationship. It's about do you want to be involved in this relationship? They call this a couple moon because this is a great time to get rid of a relationship that no longer nourishes you, or that's very toxic, because this is an energy of self-care, because you are valuing yourself. Also, any type of roses is really great for a new moon. So all that Mother's Day stuff, if you got any roses, add that to any type of new moon ritual that you're doing. I just want you to understand that Taurus themes is all about self-worth, consistency, comfort, and luxury. So like good food, any smell goods, beauty, and relaxing like a spa is very Taurus energy. Patience and taking your time. Again, holding on, resistance to change, having a fixed mindset is also Taurus energy. Building and growing because you have persistence. You're creating something that lasts long. The physical, tangible world, because it is an earth sign. So it is about tangible items and tangible results. Also, anything that you value. It could also be about real estate, anything dealing with land and farming, consumer behavior, anything that you're buying or purchasing that deals with the aesthetics world and almost like luxuries. Anything dealing with banks, stocks. The bull is in front of the stock building in New York. So also dealing with that. Anything dealing with food supply. This could be dealing with inflation if that's a problem with you and you're dealing with that. Any type of resources and overall financial security. The new moon is going to sit here very close to Mercury. And because it's sitting close to Mercury, now you're entering the mental and the mindset added to this. So it's a mental reset and a practical reset. This is where you think it, say it, and start building it to make it real. Again, Taurus, money, stability, long term security, what you're actually building. And now you have to say it out loud. If you want to manifest any of this stuff, you want to write it down or say it out loud or text it maybe. I will write it. It's a Taurus energy, so it likes more of a traditional way of doing things. So you can write it in a journal. But because this new moon is conjunct Mercury, this could be something dealing with any type of day-to-day thinking or day-to-day travel or anything dealing with your siblings or early education. This is also anything that's dealing with emails and messages and communication. Do you want to work on your communication? Do you talk a lot? It could be dealing with something like that. Any type of short distance travel, which I said earlier, like errands, your local travel, your daily routines. Again, this is representing the youth. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. It represents the youth. Mercury is also the ruler of Virgo, which represents small pets and servitude to others. So there could be something dealing with students, schools, learning, younger people, pranksters, social media, socializing, to also health, because Mercury rules health, and also servitude, like I said, okay? Even your voice and content and expression. So Taurus builds it, Mercury thinks it and says it. And it also has this in this degree of 25 degrees. Yes, 25 degrees. 25 degrees is the Aries degree, okay? So not only is the new moon about manifesting things and starting something new, right? Then it's sitting next to Mercury, which deals with communication or day-to-day travels, which everything I just said. On top of that element, it is at 25 degrees. 25 degrees is an Aries degree. So there's going to be something new. There's going to be something that's very aggressive, impulsive, fast. Maybe it could be something dealing with you being a leader, you being an entrepreneur, or something about the physical body. But it's going to be something that either could be said and it's about your body and it's a new manifestation of it or a new start of it, or there's something that could be said to you and it could be dealing with you starting a fresh new start for real, but it's going to give you some long-term results, okay? I'm building something, but I'm starting it now. That's the kind of energy. The same day that we have the new moon, we have Mars is conjunct Chiron. Anytime you have a conjunctions, that's good and bad. And this is also dealing with this new moon because it's happening in the sky, okay? Mars and Chiron is the planet of the healer, and it also is a wounded healer, but it also is sometimes a victim. Mars is about courage, your ambition, your motives, and this activates courage, wounds, healing through action, pushing to act, triggered to change something, ready to move past something that's been holding back. Also, too, this is also dealing with someone who is a wounded healer, but they're being very aggressive. Not a wounded healer, someone who's a victim and they're being really aggressive about them being a victim. Like, look at me, woe is me, and you guys are not paying attention. Pay attention. I'm gonna make you pay attention to me because I'm the victim. That kind of energy. I went all out. I did not went out. So you do have that. Now, also, the ruler of this new moon, I just want to say, know that there is that happening, okay? While you have this emotions happening here, and the ruler of the new moon is in the sign Taurus, is Venus. Venus is in Gemini. Again, communication is very strong. Any type of networking, ideas, discussions, socializing, social media, all that is going to be huge with this. Now, this new moon has a great aspect with Jupiter. It's sextile Jupiter. So there is supportive energy, there's growth, there's emotional alignment. Maybe you're getting some support from your family. Maybe there's some opportunities that make you feel safe and aligned. Maybe there's expansion that feels natural and it's very intuitive or it's very emotional or in a positive way. It's sensitive to your needs, to your physical needs. Okay. This is a great time to set some new financial goals, start something practical like a business, a routine, an investment, make an opportunity, make an important decision about stability, speaking something into existence. Okay. Now, if we're talking about the collective, because that was all personal, this is something that could be a new start about our economy, our housing, our food, our resources, or anything dealing with financial stability, new systems or plans being introduced. This could be something that could be dealing with finances and social media, or finances or stability or traditions and the youth and in schools as well. Okay. So that is what we have for the new moon. The new moon is where your ideas turn into something real. I don't know how many times I can say that with this new moon. Plus, it having a positive aspect with Jupiter, that's great. We do have some victim energy here, or we have some healing energy, so that's great as well. So, yeah. Now, and yeah, okay. Now let's talk about Mercury after it leaves that moon. Then Mercury immediately enters Gemini, May 17th. Now, Mercury in Gemini, Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, so that means it's extra potent and extra strong. But on top of that, it's going to be conjunct Uranus. Uranus is expected unexpected. And then we have the moon sitting here too. So first, let me talk about Mercury entering Gemini. First of all, anytime Mercury is in Gemini, you can have a lot more conversations, a lot of more communication across the board, a lot of overthinking and saying it really fast, a lot of hand gestures, doing a lot of things with your hands because Mercury and Gemini rules the hands. Curiosity, learning, multitasking, social energy, very increased. And that's not just in person, but that's also through social media. Now, collectively, that was more individual. Individually, Gemini is the podcasters, the writers, the book writers, you reading books, a surge of news and media. I've been into puzzle making. I mean, not making puzzles, but doing puzzles. So that could be something that's is the thought process and analyzing the thought and bringing and bringing thought and trying something new and multitasking. I'm actually doing a puzzle while listening to an audiobook. I can't just do the puzzle. I have to do those both together. It's bringing me joy. That is the kind of energy you get with this Mercury and Mercury being in Gemini, but I keep wanting to say together Mercury conjunct Uranus. But okay, we'll just talk about Mercury entering Gemini. But a lot of discussions about podcasters while Mercury's in Gemini, a lot of discussion about journalists while Mercury's in Gemini, fast changing narratives, social media activities could spike. A lot of people want to be on social media more than ever. A lot of misinformation increases. You're talking about the gossip, half truths, the rumors, the lies, okay? And mixed messages. This also, Mercury in Gemini is representing the youth, schools, and local events, your community, okay? Now, Mercury entering Gemini and sitting close to that Uranus. Again, Mercury in Gemini, fast talking, fast thinking, major communication, a lot of news with the podcasters and journalists. All right. Uranus in Gemini is shocking. It's gonna bring the shocking energy with it. Okay. Disruptions and sudden change. Uranus moves very fast. It's higher intellectual energy. A lot of impulsivity here with words. These things could be in the news and it could be spreading really fast. Okay. Now the moon is there and it's going to add the emotions. It's going to maybe add some insecurity here, maybe a feminine energy as well. Could be a little bit intuitive, but very sensitive energy here. Okay. So Mercury conjunct Uranus means you can have a quick mind. You could be a gift for originality, being able to prevent things. I don't know why I have that on here. Scratch that. Flexibility, open to new ideas, also a sense of humor. Gemini energy could be very funny, added to the intellectual energy. But intellectual breakthrough is very restless, very anxious energy, very nervous energy, could be overstimulated, erratic thinking, lack of focus, impractical ideas. It's like, wait a minute, this is not realistic. Excessive mental energy and having pride towards that as well. Um, Listen, this is very weird energy too, because Uranus likes to be weird, but it's very, very communicative. Mercury will be at 0 degrees. It's going to be very potent. It's going to be very fast. It's going to be, this energy is going to be very interesting to see. Okay. Anytime you have Uranus, you can't really predict because it is the unpredictable planet. It is very weird. It's very awkward. It does bring the intellectual energy. It does bring things that's very out of the box. When you have the moon, that could represent the people. If we're talking about the main Dane, so something weird in the news happening regarding the people or a certain homeland, all depends on which country has Gemini placements. That's very strong. That will hit their country. But the moon adds to emotional independence. It could be gift of intuitive insight. Enjoying again the puzzles at home because the moon represents the home. Stimulating daily routines. Could be nervous or have emotional intentions and emotional impulsivity as well. Yeah, so just get ready. This is like your mom being very weird and she's talking to you about a weird conversation, okay? And it's very shocking. Or this could be someone from your past giving you shocking events, especially if you're a Gemini, okay? You're like, why are they calling me? So that could be happening. But this is information overload, emotional reactions to news, sudden shifts in thinking and feeling. This will literally happen May 17th, okay? I think it enters at May 17th and not the 16th overnight and then a day. But unexpected messages that could trigger emotional response, reacting quickly to something you hear or learn. Your mood changes based on the information you received. That could be very weird, okay? And saying something spontaneous or surprising. Uranus is also the planet of freedom. So a lot of people want their freedom. This could also be something that could be power to the people and a lot of rebelling and protesting as well. Watch out for reacting before processing, anxiety, nervous energy. This is not a great time to take that overdose of caffeine. A lot of gossip and rumors here and emotional decisions based on incomplete information. Okay. But it's still an intellectual energy. So if you want to work with some intellectual things, that's great. Because also, too, while Mercury's in Gemini, is going to trine Pluto. And it'll be here for a few days. Uranus is trining Pluto. So this is great because that means the intuition and the deep energy is working really great. Not the intuition, the intellectual energy and communications is in deep strategic conversations. This is a great time to investigate some stuff, uncover some truth, have influence through words, especially on social media or the internet, because Uranus does represent the internet and AI. Also, too, Mercury is going to sextile while it's in Gemini, Neptune, and then it's going to sextile. This is Neptune and no, Neptune and Saturn. Neptune is the intuitive energy. That's why I keep saying this could be very intuitive if you use the energy. Very creative ideas, very inspired ideas. All about compassion and love and charity as well. Saturn there is going to give you the grounded energy, some structured communications. I'm actually planning things out before you actually say it, even though this is very fast. But if you decide to slow it down, it will really work out for you as well. Now, this Mercury in Gemini does not really go well with all my mutable signs. So, all my Pisces, Mercury, and Gemini, there are some challenges here for you. On my Virgo placements, there's going to be some challenges here for you. Sagittarius is like you guys can't see eye to eye. It's all focused on the details, and you only see the bigger picture, okay? Facts versus beliefs. Virgo energy is going to be too many details versus too much information. Pisces is going to be your logic versus your intuition. So you do have that. But my air signs, you're going to love this, okay? All my Geminis, this is going to be stronger for you. It's all about you. For all of my Aquarius, again, blessings with the communication and the fast thinking. And all my Libras, a lot of socializing. The ideas are going to flow quickly for you guys. Communication is going to feel natural. Networking, social media, any type of connections, and fast thinking and fast talking and fast moving. Even driving is going to be more safe for you, okay? But Geminis, you will feel this the strongest. You will have heightened mental activity, more visible and expressive, stronger voices, and presence. You will be feeling the sensitivity the day of May 17th, okay? So that's what we have for Mercury entering Gemini. Now, the next day, we have two more ingresses, okay? Now we have, if you see here, I just want to point out that the moon moves from Mercury and Neptune, and then it joins Venus. Now, on a mundane, meaning the world astrology, this is people dealing with something that deals with partnership or like a social event, and it's something that's in the news or said. Now, on a personal level, this is the moon being very sensitive and moody when it comes to relationships, or it feels secure when it comes to relationships. Now, I do want you to understand the reason why I'm pointing this out, because when Venus moves into Cancer, the moon will follow, and the moon is the ruler of the Venus, okay? So I want you to remember that. But first, I want to talk about Mars, okay? Mars is over here playing the victim or dealing with some wounded energy, and then it will move into the sign Cancer, not Cancer, Taurus, okay? Mars in Taurus is in detriment in Taurus, meaning it doesn't like to be here. Mars wants to move very fast, and Taurus, like I said earlier, is slow. Okay, all the earth signs are pretty much slow. Sorry, I had to drink there, but Taurus makes everything slow down. Mars rules Aries. Aries is very fast and direct, if you know any Aries, okay? And Taurus is the opposite of that energy. It likes to be very slow, it's very fixed, doesn't like to have change. And Aries energy and Mars likes to be very impulsive, okay? Detriment isn't bad. It just means that this planet works differently in this sign. I personally believe that when a planet is at home in its own sign, it's extra, extra strong. And I find that to be a little bit too much for me, from when I look at astrology. Meaning, like, if Venus is in Taurus, we're really lazy. Okay, you're really over shopping. Whereas if Venus is in Cancer, it's a little bit better. Okay. So Mars in Taurus can make things not be so impulsive and not be so aggressive, but just be a little bit more grounded. The energy could feel a little restricted or a little bit redirected. Normally, when you're used to moving forward and you're used to moving fast, you're like, why am I slowing down and not doing, these quick reactions and being so impulsive? Okay. So instead of having the quick reactions and direct actions and immediate movement, you may be delayed in your responses or resistance before any type of movement. Not really great for people who move slow naturally, but really great for people who move too fast. But when it comes to conflicts, that could be slowing down collectively and individually. Our finances, there could be some tension towards that. That could be big in a collective way, in a personal way. So the economy versus your personal finances, because Mars is the tension, is the aggressor, is the planet of war and conflict. There could be standoffs instead of immediate actions, pressure building over time. Okay. Now let's see some. Mars is the planet of action, motivation, anger, aggression, conflict, courage, sexual energy. So when it's in a sign Taurus, it likes all the sensual touches. It's very competitive. Mars is physical energy. Sometimes it deals with the physical body, always deals with the athletes. How you go after what you want, and reaction style is very impulsive versus very controlled. And Taurus, again, is about our finances, is about the banks, is about the money. It is the bull. It's about our values and what our self-worth, comfort, luxury, patience, consistency. Very stubborn about tangible physical things, literally the earth. Okay. Security and safety, land, slow and steady. Okay, so you put those two together. a lot of slowing down, a lot of patience, moving with intentions, being more stubborn in a lot of your decisions, a lot of focusing on money, work, and security. So this is a great time if you want to focus on the budget. This would be a great time. A lot of people will be more into this. It will be the energy in the sky, and you will feel it. Slow build up of frustrations instead of quick reactions. Strong follow through once you commit. I'm not rushing, but I'm backing down. I'm not backing down either because you're being very stubborn. Okay. So yeah, that's what we have when Mars is in Taurus. Now, um, Mars is in Taurus. What do we have? Because that's what every time Mars is in Taurus, that's what you get. Now, this Mars in Taurus is different. Okay, once Mars enters Taurus, it's not going to play well with Pluto. Pluto is the planet of secrets. Pluto is the planet of power. This is also very powerful. These two being together means, in a negative way, and it's squaring, mean there could be some power struggles. You are talking about with the future and the traditions. It's not getting along. Okay, something that's very traditional, like a religion, is not getting along with something that's futuristic like AI. Okay. But this is power struggles for real, control versus resistance, pressure building beneath the surface. I'm not moving, but there's something that's forcing me to. This could be a standoff of some sort. This could be economic or resource based tension, power dynamics in systems and groups. This is to me a big no. So let's see how this plays out once Mars enters Taurus. Let's see how the money in the banks deal with crypto or anything futuristic when it comes to finances. Okay. Mars will be sextiling its ruler, Venus. So that's great. This makes the energy kind of soften. This is great with female energy too. The masculine with the female is it's working together. It's also Venus represents your support, your finances, money, which you naturally attract, the ability to take action on something that you value, and harmony, even if you're dealing with law. This can help some energies with that when you're striving for it. But just be aware that the internet in the future, or the weirdness or the people striking, is slowing you down. Okay. But Mars is also going to trine. Once it hits Taurus, it's going to trine our South Node. This is all about releasing, and the South Node is in Virgo, so releasing things that are very detailed, relying on past skills or habits. You'll get better with that, or maybe it'll work out for you. Familiar ways of taking action, repeating patterns from your past lifetime or from this lifetime. Things that you're comfortable with is going to work really well. So know that it's also going to sextile the things that you're dealing with in your future, your intuition. But this is something that's like writing the list, being particular, dealing with your health, dealing with a routine. It really works out well with that. Okay. Again, Venus is the ruler of Mars, and it's in the sign Cancer. So that means that Mars could be a little bit more sensitive. It could be a little bit more emotional. There could be issues with feelings, insecurities, and family and home and protection. That could be the main theme dealing here, especially when you have this issue here dealing with your future and power controls. Okay. Now, June 13th, then Mars will. Oh, well, the ruler, sorry, June 13th, Venus will enter Leo. And remember, Venus is the ruler of Mars. Mars will still be in Taurus. So the energy goes from homeland to leadership, to be people being expressive, to the actors, to people being very bold, a lot of attention seeking, a lot of recognition, a lot of passion, things that's dealing with children and romance. But more confidence is added to the element of stability and taking things slow. Okay. Let me see what else. Venus is going to be at 29 degrees. Let me see. Why do I have this? I started talking about Venus, I think, in my notes. Venus will be at conjunct Uranus. Why do I have that? What? Okay, I don't know what I have in my notes. Venus is at 29 degrees. It's going to be conjunct Uranus. Why do I have Venus conjunct Uranus? I don't know, but I'll ignore that. Anyway, so yeah, so that is what we have for Mars in Taurus. Now, while Mars is in Taurus, it's going to work really good for all my earth signs. So my Tauruses, you're going to be feeling it's the strongest, okay? But you'll be more aggressive, more passionate, more self-reliant, more about the self. Could be a little bit more assertive and aggressive. So in a bad way, but also in a good way. But Virgos and Capricorns, Taurus, you guys, I said Taurus already, but Virgos and Capricorns, you're going to be feeling this in a great way. It's going to work really good for you. You're going to feel a lot of motivation and passion and a lot of energy to move forward. Okay. All my fixed signs, which are Aquarius, with all my Leos, where's my Leos, and all my Scorpios, there's going to be a problem here. Okay. You moving forward, if you have any placements, Mars will be hitting it soon. And the motivation or the aggression is going to be causing some problems, some conflict or control or power struggles or the ego or the intensity, Scorpios. There's going to be some energy that could be slowing you down with that. So be aware of that. Now, let's talk about Venus entering Cancer. That also happens later on this week. So, first, we have the new moon. We have Mercury and Cazimi and Mercury conjunct Uranus. Then we have Mars entering Taurus. The same day that we have Mars entering Taurus, we have Venus entering Cancer. This is May 19th. I think this is going to be very strong energy. Okay. So let's see what happens May 19th, because both of these are at pure degrees. They're both at 0 degree. So that's very strong degree. Venus in Cancer. Venus, again, is about our money, our relationships, our harmony, how we are at court. It's also the group dynamic, which is more about the team, very feminine energy, beauty and aesthetics, our enjoyment, what we value, our social life, art and creativity, what you're drawn to, what you desire. In the sign Cancer, Cancer is about your emotions, is about your home, your mom, your family, very feminine energy, security, nurturing, caregiver. It is a protector. It is a motherhood. It is about the memories of the past, very intuitive and emotional awareness with any of the water signs. Could be very moody. And it wants to create a sense of home. So it's like you're having a party and you want everyone to feel comfortable, and it's very nurturing kind of energy. Okay. So that's what Venus in Cancer is going to change. Okay. Collectively, around the world, this is all about real estate and housing and family and domestic issues and woman and womanhood and motherhood, feeling safe and having security and feeling protective, and spending money emotionally could be happening. The public mood is very moody. It's very sensitive. It's very like anything in the news. It's like people are overreacting because they're very sensitive to it. That could be happening. Yeah, so a lot of public energy could be driven by emotion too. A lot of things that are very nostalgic could be happening when it comes to art or creativity or finding some harmony. You want to do something from the past, that could be happening. Now, Venus in Cancer, emotional connection, protection. Again, Venus is here to consistently react, and it's going to be very moody when you're in relationships. You could be dating and all of a sudden it's ups and down. Like today I want you, tomorrow I don't want you. I hate you. I hate you so much right now. And then you're like, I love you. It moves fast like the moon. Okay. Again, I wanted you to know that when it was over here in Gemini, it was sitting next to the moon. So we already had the sensitivity, and it continues to add the sensitivity because the moon will be sitting kind of close to it when it enters Cancer. Um, so there is this sensitivity energy added on double, and the moon in Cancer is extra sensitive. This is May 19th. When Venus is in Cancer, though, it's not going to work best with Neptune. It's not going to work best with uh, Saturn. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, you guys. I ate, and my timing is all off. It's 2 o'clock. I have to pick up Hunter soon from school, so it's gonna be a lot. I'm still recovering from Mother's Day. When I have such a social day, I have to like take a shower or a bath and relax the next day. I have to like re-cleanse all that social energy, and that is because Neptune is in my first house. Okay, I take on a lot. Anyway, speaking of Neptune, so Venus in Cancer, in the middle of May. Um, what you naturally attract in your harmony and your balances aesthetics is not really going to go with Neptune and Saturn. Okay. Neptune is the illusions of love, emotional confusion, protecting your feelings. All that could be happening. You are going to be stuck on stupid when it comes to relationships. That could be a possibility. Saturn could be with that old man. Okay. That old figure, that pedophile. Okay. Are there someone who's giving emotional boundaries, or maybe the boundaries are not there and you are attracting this energy from the past. Okay. But this is someone who's giving you a test in relationships. and you can't see the test and you didn't pass the test, okay? Or you could be feeling restricted or unsupported, or this is pessimism, negativity. So just know that Venus is not happy because it's squaring Neptune, the planet of love and compassion and charity and creativity. It's squaring that energy, and it's also squaring Saturn, the planet of negativity. Okay. Pessimism. What Venus is going to work well with is your future and your destiny, because it's going to be trining the North Node, which is retrograding. This is emotional alignment with connections of what your destiny is. You're going to naturally attract what you're meant to do. This is karmic or destined relationships. This is intuitive bonds. Whatever God is meant for you to do within this lifetime, you're going to naturally attract that. Okay. While Venus is in Cancer, especially the beginning of it. Now, Venus later on, around May 23rd, is going to quincunx Pluto. And this is the investigation energy. This is a transformation energy, emotional adjustments, power dynamics in relationship, subtle tensions that needs shifting. There's something that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. You are the collective. May 23rd, when it comes to your harmony, your balance, and it could be something that's on the deep dark web, okay? Or maybe someone who's very famous on the internet, something's going to be said about their relationship from the past, okay? Or their relationship with their mom, and it will be investigated, okay? And it will make the public very uncomfortable. Now, it's going to conjunct Jupiter as it scoots on over, and you get a little bit more closer around May 31st. This is very positive. This is expansion with emotions and sensitivity and love, big love energy, deeper bonds, a lot of focus on family, enjoyment, happiness, positivity. Great time to have a family reunion. Support from others, pretty energy, gorgeous feminine energy, getting something expensive in a beauty department, or maybe even making your home even more pretty, impressive taste and style, the glory of love, indulgence, social ambition, could be a little snobby, could be a little gaudy, could be a little bit overblown with aesthetics, could be spending too much money, could be a little bit lazy and passive, like overly. I don't want to say little, because Jupiter is nothing little about Jupiter. But this is also having a lot of faith and good luck. On the negative side, even though these are two positive planets, when they get together, you could be overdoing the aesthetic. So it's like you have too much hair. I don't know what made me think of hair, but beauty and hair. And I'm just looking at my hair. Okay. But all my water signs, of course, Cancers, you're going to be feeling this the strongest. So positivity and attraction coming your way. I'm a Cancer sun. I'm excited about this. But all of my Pisces, you're going to be feeling this too in a very positive way. All of my Scorpios, I'm a Scorpio moon. You're going to be feeling this in a very positive way. So there's going to be great energy for you guys while Venus is in Cancer. All of my cardinal signs, all my Aries, all of my Libras, all of my Capricorns, not going to work best for you, okay? You are going to feel some type of lesson or some type of tension while Venus is in Cancer looking at the past, okay? So just know that. Now, also to this day, we have Mercury. These are just sextiles, but I'm going to say this because you're watching. Mercury is going to sextile Neptune this same day, and Mercury moves fast, so this is literally on the 19th. If you want to get a reading or something intuitive, you have to go reach out to the psychic, and it will be very positive for you. It will be true and authentic. It won't be fake, an illusion. That's on the 19th, but you have to reach out. Mercury sextile Neptune makes you very creative, very passionate, very compassionate. Not passionate, very compassionate. Someone who is going to be able to say something that's very unknown, but it works out in a good way. Venus in Cancer is going to sextile Mars. That is the men and women. So working with men, working with the leader, working with the person, not, I don't want to say aggressive, but the person who's self-reliant and who's assertive can really work well with the team. Okay. So that is what we have for the astrology this week. Let me see. I was seeing if we have any comments. Let me pull some cards for you guys this week. Let me see what we have for this week. First of all, I'll pull what we need to know from this new moon in Taurus. Ooh, we have the Tower card. So this is disruption. This is very Mars aggressive energy. So something aggressive, something fast, something that is changing the way we depend on things. Okay. So that's happening with the new moon in Taurus, which represents stability. So that stability looks like it's the wrong stability that we are depending on. So that needs to change. Now we have Mars in entering, what is Mars entering? Taurus. Yes. So Mars entering Taurus. No, let's Mercury entering Gemini. That's the first one. For Mercury entering Gemini, oh, we have the Fool card. Okay, so either something new, a new journey is going to be dealing with that. So let's get ready and see what that is. But pack light, don't bring your emotional baggage, and get ready for a new journey, either for the collective or for you individually. Now let's talk about Mars in Taurus. Mars in Taurus is going to bring new opportunities for love and intuitive insight and compassion, and even having faith with God. Okay. And now Venus in Cancer. Venus in Cancer, we have the Cancer card, is going to make you focus on your home. It's going to make you focus on everything dealing with Cancer, your mom, your relationship, your past. It's going to have a lot of willpower and moving forward and using your intuition instead of using just things that people think is common sense. No, you're going to have common intuitive energy. All right. That is what we have. Oh, let me pull some cards for you individually, the people who are listening and watching. This week for you alone, you're going to have some new opportunities when it comes to finances or something tangible. That's that Taurus energy. God's just going to hand it to you. So you need to be very grounded, very practical, and look for the tangible item that God has given you. And then lastly, the Queen of Machetes. God's going to give you the power to speak the truth, to have the intellect, to comprehend information, to process information, to clearly communicate. The gift of gab in a positive way, to use it for love and compassion, to use communication for a more compassionate and loving way. All right. And also to be very creative with your words. That is what I have for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for next week. I tried to do more of like a short form video. That's what I'm feeling right now. But it could be like in a TikTok form. While I do my makeup for my readings, because I've been having readings lately, so I've been a little bit overbooked. But yeah, I try to do that and upload that on YouTube. But I still have my short form content that I'm still doing. Also been tweeting more, so I'm still working on that. But yes, look out for my next video. And I always try to do it on some type of conspiracy or something political. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye bye.